So Russell Brand was quoted as saying that cannabis is not a gateway drug. Neither is alcohol, nicotine, or caffeine. Trauma is a gateway drug. Child abuse is a great gateway drug. Molestation, neglect, these are gateway drugs. Most people are so busy laughing and looking down at homeless and drug addicts to realize that these could be your own children in 15 years. Drugs and alcohol, I've said this a million times, drugs and alcohol are the solution and not the problem. These are just to numb the pain and silence the demons of child abuse, molestation, neglect, and rape. Hey, thanks for joining me today. My name's Marie. This is a place to heal if you've never been here. I'm kind of looking around because I'm down here in the hood. It's kind of a shady part of town, and I am right across the Methadone clinic. I picked this one because there is a lot of action that goes on here. Actually, if you look right down the street, there is a Buddhist temple, which is kind of crazy because it's less than 500 steps from this Methadone clinic. And I used to go in there to meditate on Sundays. The Buddhist would actually let you go in there and meditate on Sunday. So I'm not sure if this clinic was put in after the temple, or maybe the temple went in after the clinic, maybe the Buddhists to help the community. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I just want to warn you guys, there's a good chance that we might get approached to do a drug deal down here. So just kind of bear with us. And you will be hearing a voice in the background narrating with me. And I wanted to say this because, go ahead and flip it. Let's go ahead and start flipping it. This is the traffic that's happening right now at the clinic. What you're looking at is the actual clinic, and this has now become one of the worst epidemics in America. In case you haven't noticed, or if you live in a big city, try to check out your bus stops. Is he dealing over there? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this guy over here, now these people, they're supposedly coming to this clinic to get clean. And this guy is sitting out here and he's still dealing drugs to the other people who are trying to get clean. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this video is for 3 reasons. Okay, number 1, I wanted to shed some knowledge and some truth on this situation because this is happening in all large cities and very few people are aware of this. Is this a pickup right here? Is this lady? This car right here? Okay, now she just went to the clinic and she's being picked up. So I'll tell you that about in a minute. So I wanted to shed some truth on what is going on here. This video is also dedicated to, why is this doing that? This video is also dedicated to one of my best friends whom I lost about a year ago, and she was on methadone. She was on 1 milligram and she could not get off of it. Could not get off no matter what she did. This is how addictive this drug is. They don't want to call it a drug. This is a medication assisted program by the government. And the third reason that I'm doing this video is because I've had some people that have asked me because their children, nieces, nephews, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, or whatever, are addicts. And, I used to be an addict. I'm not ashamed to say that. The only thing that I did was I absolutely refused to go on methadone. Even back then, it was suggested to me. And I decided to get clean 100%. Just go cold turkey. So you can see them coming in and out of the clinic. Okay, this woman is on crutches and she's actually lost her leg. So the website claims, if you go to the methadone website, and you could see these ladies they're not young. They're like in their I'm going to say 50s.
If that is the right lady, this is the lady that I've heard say several times she has been on methadone for about 30 years.
Okay, so apparently this woman's been on methadone for like 30 years. Methadone, it says on their website that they put you on it and then they start dosing you down and then they take you off and then you're clean. But that's not the case, obviously. I mean, if this woman's been on methadone for 30 years, a lot of these people that, let me see if I can let go of this and it's still shaking. I think it's from my air conditioner. Sorry, guys. A lot of these people that are coming to this clinic are still using. Some of these people will sit outside in their cars, and what they're doing is, let's say they get, they take home doses. So what they do is they take the doses and they only take half of them and they sell the other half. I'm going to take this off of here because it's really shaky.
Take it at all, sell the whole thing.
Or they don't take it at all, right? So they sell the whole thing. And the reason that they're doing that is to make money so they can continue to get high, because this is a government funded program. Okay, so the government funded program is paying for all of this. Not only is it paying for their, I'm going to call it a drug because it is what it is. This is an opiate, right?
It's a synthetic opiate.
It's a synthetic opioid. And what they're doing is they're getting it free from the government, and then they're turning around and they're selling it, and they're selling it for the street drug so they can continue getting high. And this is all being funded with your tax dollars.
Now, a lot of people will say that when you are on methadone, it has a blocker, so you cannot get high when you take methadone, but that is not true. It reduces the high, but you can and will still get high if you use opioids while on methadone.
Right, and there's still people that do take them. And they will trade their methadone for pills.
Benzos.
Benzos. They're what's the actual name for that? Because benzos is like a straight.
Mostly Xanax, but benzodiazepine is the.
Okay, so Xanax, anything like that. And like I said, this is funded by the government. I mean, you could see. Here's another guy coming in, and there's people sitting in cars waiting. So for those of you who have asked me if methadone is a good idea to take, the side effects of methadone are anxiety, nervousness, restless leg, which I will talk about that in just a second, sleep issues, weakness, drowsiness, dry mouth, nausea, vomiting. I have seen people actually go into that clinic, step out, and start vomiting right outside the clinic because their liver can no longer handle.
So this guy in the white hat.
Okay, so this guy in the white hat, this guy's been waiting.
He's selling or buying something.
So he's selling or buying. He's just getting in the car. They're going to go do their deal.
No, they're going to do it right there.
Oh, they're going to do it right there. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can see the kind of traffic. There's been like, I think, 12 people since we've been here already. This guy here's...
The guy in the red shirt just told him too. Something.
The guy in the red shirt just told him.
So he'll be coming back.
So he'll be coming back. That car will be coming back because he's probably going to sell him his stuff. So vomiting, constipation is huge because methadone slows everything down, and that includes your colon. It decreases your sex drive. It makes you unable to have orgasms. It causes shallow breathing, hallucinations, confusion, chest pain, dizziness, fainting, and heart pounding.
Slow heart rate.
Slow heart rate. There's people that have been found dead because the heart rate will go down so low that it'll actually kill you. What amazes me about this clinic is that I watch the people, and some of them will look like addicts. But like this guy over here, he didn't even look like an addict. They're nice and clean, and they drive nice cars and everything. And you would never ever assume that they're addicts. Okay, so one of the things that methadone can cause is called serotonin syndrome, and it causes agitation, it causes fevers, sweating, shivering, muscle twitching, loss of coordination, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Now the sad part is that most of these people, if it says it right there on the bottle, that if you have this, to go directly to the emergency room. But here's what happens. When you go to the emergency room, the minute that a doctor sees that you have methadone on that paperwork, they treat you as if you are a piece of crap, that you're just an addict, and they want nothing to do with you. So they just send you on your way. So I'm not really understanding what this whole concept is. But I do know, I mean, why, I guess this is just one more way to keep people sedated and stupid and not knowing what's really going on in society, keep you controlled. Because, I mean, they won't pay for your diabetic supplies, and they won't pay for kidney disease and dialysis and stuff, but they will pay for this. They will pay for addicts to continue to stay high, and they're using your tax dollars to do it. So I'm not really understanding. Now, one of the things that I have noticed about methadone, and everybody that I have dealt with, is that it does attack your liver. If you were to go into that clinic, which I have, if you were to go into that clinic, all you can smell is sugar. Because methadone is, it's like sugar, pure sugar. So it starts to attack your liver severely. And most people that you see that are on methadone, the whites of their eyes are yellow because they've gotten jaundice and everything else. So, see, it's an in and out process. I mean, she just walked in, not even 5 minutes ago, right? So you do have to get tested, right? Do you have to get tested?
When you first sign up, you get 1 to 3 randoms a month. And then if you miss 3 or more days, you get tested.
Okay, so you can't miss. If you miss more than 3 days, they're going to come after you. They're going to test you because they think, oh, if you haven't come into the clinic for the last 3 days, it's because you're doing drugs on the street. But they don't realize that all this is going on right in their parking lot. And you notice, like, there's not a police officer anywhere in sight. So it's like there's drug deals going down. Oh, there is that guy. He just came back. So there is drug deals going on in their very own parking lot with their very own stuff that they're giving their people. And nothing's getting done, really. So this has become a huge epidemic. Oh, hey, there's a police officer.
He won't stop. He won't come in.
And there he goes. He won't stop. He won't come in. They want nothing to do with this. They're told not to have anything to do with this, unless they're actually called out because there's a huge problem.
A gun was just pulled on somebody 2 weeks ago, and they watched it through the window and did not call the police. They don't call the police for altercations.
Okay, so there you go.
We're not worth their time. Addicts are not worth their time.
That's nice. So, like I said at the beginning of this video, that, a lot of people look at this and we want to hide it under the rug. We want to sweep it away. They're nothing but drug addicts, but these could be your children in 15 years. These could be your children now. Maybe these are your children now. So if your kids are on methadone, some of my older followers, this is what's going on in these clinics. And I just happen to pick this clinic because this is one of the most active ones. There are other clinics. There's shootings that go on constantly at these clinics where the police are constantly being called out. This guy right here, he's going from car to car, like I said. There's another woman that's sitting over here to my left, and she's watching me record, and she's starting to get nervous, the one on the street. She's starting to realize that I'm recording and that's what I'm doing. So, and you never know because these people are high, so you never know what can happen. I've come here where we've been approached in the car. We've had people come up and wanting to know if we wanted to buy, we wanted to buy weed or we wanted to buy pipes or if we wanted...
With children in the car.
With children in the car. We had children in the car. Okay, and we were just stopped here for like 10 minutes. And sure enough, we got approached and they wanted to know if we wanted to buy some pipes and we wanted to do a deal. So it's kind of crazy. All right, so I wanted to make you aware that I think one of the biggest problems that I have with methadone is that my friend of so many years, she was, hey, before I say that, there used to be people that used to sleep up there on the roof. So in the morning, they just could climb down and walk over to the clinic. So one of the things that I noticed about my friend of so many years is that she was a go-getter. I mean, she had so many ambitions, so many dreams and everything else, and just 1 milligram of methadone would crush all those ambitions and everything else. She would get up in the morning with everything that she wanted to do, and she never got anything done. She would just sit in a chair all day, because that's how the methadone reacts in your body. It kills your ambition, it kills your dreams and everything. And if I could advise to anyone, let me turn this around. If I could advise to anyone if they should get on methadone, I would say no, do not do it. This is not the way to go. I would say cold turkey is actually, I don't know.
With this drug, it is very, very, very hard to go cold turkey.
Heroin?
Especially
because this is mainly for heroin.
Yes.
But they do prescribe it for pain medication.
Very rarely now.
Very rarely now.
Opioid epidemic has gotten so severe.
Yeah.
They're not.
It has gotten so bad. The addiction has gotten so bad. People not wanting to deal with life. People not wanting to deal with those demons in their closet. People wanting to silence, because that's what it does, man. It creates white noise in your head. It stops all that pain. It stops everything that happened in your childhood, where you get some peace for a while. You just get some peace. And that you can go through bus stops and you'll watch people shooting up at bus stops. They've even put, boxes up now where you can put your needle disposals. You could throw your needles away at the bus stops.
Honestly, my recommendation for the safest way to get off of opioids or heroin would be the suboxone. So they're strips that you put under your tongue and they melt away, but they actually have naloxone, which is in the spray that you bring them back from opioid overdoses with. So what that is it blocks your opioid receptors. So if they take a suboxone, you cannot get high while you have it in your system. You can do as much as you want. It will block the receptors, and
am
you
I in
cannot
shot?
get high. Yeah. And then it also blocks your cravings for them. So you don't feel the need to get high. You don't go through with the withdrawals. But then if mentally you're thinking about it and you do it, you're not going to get high like you would with methadone. So honestly, that's the safest way, and it doesn't create a lot of side effects the way methadone does.
And one of the things that I have seen the posters everywhere is that I'm trying to keep an eye out because there's a lot of stuff going on around here.
Everybody's starting to just take off.
Yeah, I just, you kind of got to stay alert and present. So
pulling out at the same time.
One of the things that I have read everywhere is, and I think it is suboxone, that once you come out of prison, once you get out of jail, right? Because they detox you in jail, they detox you in prison. You're not allowed to have your heroin. You're not allowed to have your drugs in prison. So as soon as you get out of prison, they say that has the highest mortality rate, because the minute you get out of prison, the minute you get out of the minute you get out of jail is you're wanting to use. So you have a tendency to overuse, because you're like, it's like you haven't eaten, you've been in the desert for 8 months, and then all of a sudden you get to food, you want to eat and eat and eat.
You feel that you can use the same amount as you did as before you went in,
right,
not understanding that you've been completely clean for so many months,
right,
and OD yourself accidentally.
So I think it's suboxone that they sit there and they say, that if you have a son, a daughter, a spouse, whatever, and they were a user when they went in, and they're coming out, to be sure and have suboxone on hand, because it will stop the overdose.
No, naloxone.
Oh,
The spray.
Oh, the spray.
Suboxone is the strips that you take to not relapse, but the Suboxone has that same ingredient, naloxone,
But
to block the
what's
opioids.
the one that the
Narcan.
spray? Narcan.
Narcan.
Narcan is the spray that you should have on hand.
It's always available at any clinic as long as you take the class, because they want to teach you how to use it properly to bring somebody back from an overdose.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, that Pulp Fiction where she's ODing and they shove the needle in her heart. It's kind of like that, but it's not as dramatic anymore. So there you go. So this clinic is open at what time?
5:30 a.m. to noon.
So it should be closed here in the next 30 minutes. And they do start doing pickups at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you get your free rides from you see those cars that are non-medical transport, and
Through your insurance.
So yeah, your insurance doesn't pay for diabetic strips, but they pay for you to drive to the methadone clinic. So they start picking up people starting at 4:30 in the morning and getting them here to the clinic so they can dose, and this continues on throughout the day. I mean, this is constant. It's a non-stop. This is how many people are on it.
At this clinic, they were saying there's about 400 people.
400 people?
On a daily basis. That's not counting the people
that
on
a daily basis.
Weeklies or monthly take-homes that they only have to come once a month or once a week.
So that's like, what time did you say this opens?
5:30 a.m.
So in a matter of 6 hours, you have 400 people. How many is that an hour? That's a lot of people an hour.
That's about 67 people an hour.
Yeah, 60 to 70 people an hour coming in. That's how, I mean, even as we're standing here, they're still pulling up, driving in, on and on. So there you go. All right, so I hope I've helped you out a little bit. I know there's been a few people that have asked me, hey, my daughter is trying to get off heroin, or, my husband is hooked on heroin, or, you have a family member, whatever, an uncle, an aunt, and they're struggling with that, and you want to help get them clean. This is not the answer. Okay, this is a liver killer. This is a lung killer. This is a dream killer, everything. It causes anxiety. I mean, everything. There's more of a chance that you're going to find your child, your husband, your aunt, your uncle dead on the floor from this than you are the actual drug. And, during the holidays, I was trying to help someone who had horrible liver issues. But the problem was we were trying to clean the liver, but at the same time, she was on methadone. So we had to incorporate the methadone, but she was throwing up the methadone, but she had to keep the methadone in her body because it's very dangerous to just come off of it. So we were playing this double-edged sword during the holidays, right? So stupid me, I took a dropper and I put two small little drops on my tongue, and I thought I was gonna die. I've never been so high in my life from 2 drops, and they're taking a full bottle. Okay, they're taking this whole bottle, so you can imagine how high you are when you're dealing with these people. So like I said, in the beginning, this is not the problem. This is not by any means the problem. This is the solution to a problem. And unfortunately, it's getting bigger and bigger because people don't want to deal with this. All right, so please subscribe, please like, please follow, please share. Like I said in my former videos, the more you like, the more you subscribe, the more you share, the longer you keep me out here bringing you some truth and sharing stuff with you that will always help you to live a healthier lifestyle.
And turn on the post notifications.
And turn on your post notifications, yes, because that way when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of that. You can also follow me on Instagram. I used to post on Instagram that, you know, a new video is coming out and what that video is about. Things are starting to slow down now. Must be getting close. Okay, so till next time, please stay happy, stay healthy, love and respect one another no matter what. Because I mean, if there was a lot more love and there was a lot more respect in the world, this crap would not be going on. Seriously. All right, till next time. Love you guys. Bye.